fact that it is disheartening that bandits, whatever name you want to give to them, will go after school children and using them as shields and sources of ransom to be taken from parents or whoever is willing to give. As a security expert, how do you see this affecting the family setting, the psyche of the people, and how can we improve on getting the children and facilities secured around the northwestern part of the country and the entire country as a whole, if you can look at that?
Okay, good morning, Nigeria, and thanks for having me. Like the question says, or the topic says, why are schools the soft target? They're actually the soft target because less attention is given to them in terms of security. And I want to align with what my colleague there in the studio has said. He gives a little credit to the Nigerian army.
All right, we sincerely apologize to the viewers, but we'll do this back and forth with Stanley Nsofor until we can get some measure of consistency with the connection. Stanley, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
All right. Please go ahead.
Like I said, the second one is that they are using it now as a source of funds. You know, when the government has succeeded in truncating the source of their funds from their foreign allies, they now decide to fund themselves through this kidnap and collecting ransom from individuals. If you notice, the government is not paying the ransom again, so they go to schools where when they kidnap a large number of persons, by the time they begin to to drop the ransoms, they may be able to get some funds to run their act. And then the third one is we're told that the meaning of Boko Haram is Western education is prohibited. So for them to attack schools, you will recall that some states have to shut down the schools. Some parents have withdrawn their children from school. So it's another way of them trying to achieve their aim of trying to truncate education within that region. And so having put this together, you understand why they have decided to go to the schools, to begin to attack schools. Now, but in trying to advise the government, there are a lot of things they need to do. Like my friend in the studio said, yes, this notice were given to them. They come in large number. What the security agencies can do more of intelligence at this point to try to, get this information and stop it before it happens. Allowing acting after it has happened is always the Nigerian security agencies. But the best approach would have been to stop it. If they got this information, they would have been able to deploy some measures to stop these persons from getting to those schools. Which one of them would have even been to shut down the school? And another thing I'm thinking that I think that is making this thing strike is that initially we were crying that the government had made the security, they politicized it, which is one of the reasons they were not able to tackle it. Now it has turned to a business. It is turning to a business, and that's why it looks as if it's thriving. Now, I think that somebody like Sheikh Gumi, who has always stood for the bandits, the terrorists, and all, has some questions to answer to the DSS and has some things to tell Nigerians. So the business aspect of it is another thing that is making it to thrive. I think Nigerians should ask Sheikh Gumi the role he has and the partnership he has with most of these bandits and the terrorists that he always speaks for them. He's calling for amnesty, he's negotiating and all. So when we look at all this, we know that the business aspect of this whole thing is one of the things that is making it to thrive. And I think I will encourage the government to look into this. It will not even be, it will be far from even the government being part of the whole of this thing, either to score some cheap political points or to steal some persons within the corridors of power to make money from all of this. It is actually a serious issue. Yeah, talking about shield, using the students as I mean, if the security agencies are on top of the
No, apologies again. I'd wish that you could land on that statement, Stanley. We'll still get back to you in just a moment. I
apologize for the network problems we're having. But Stanley, a lot of the things we're talking about here borders around the security capacity of Nigeria to deal with many of these issues. It's a failure of intelligence, not being able to cover and carry out surveillance on many of these areas, so-called ungoverned spaces, and it's been exploited by maybe they be the lords of the ungoverned spaces in the way they carry out their activities. But help us understand what sort of help Nigeria needs in ensuring that its spaces are secured from these terrorists.
Well, if you ask me, I will still say again that the government of the day is not ready to fight this insecurity. They are just giving a cosmetic approach to the fight of insecurity. That's why you see some of these things they are doing. I mean, first and foremost, what stops them from asking for external help? Mercenary, if you put it that way, if they cannot. What stops them from genuinely fighting this cause? I still don't believe that the bandits, the Boko Haram can overpower the federal government. Now, another area that they need to first and foremost look into is the welfare of the men you send to the field. They are ill motivated. That's a fact. So if these persons that you send to the battlefront are not motivated, no matter the gadgets you bring in, no matter the weapons you bring in, if the men that will drive those things are not motivated, you will still have those bandits having their day. Sometimes we have even seen a situation where some of those bandits even have some of these military men on their payroll. So you find out that the fight is not genuine. So if the federal government cannot stand up and decide to end this thing, whatever we do is cosmetics. Another area the government needs to tackle is the economy, the unemployment. Most of these persons who take to this arm, who agree to join this group, is because they don't have any other means. So whatever they see, they decided to cash in there to make their living. So there are a lot of angles that the federal government should take to let Nigerians know that they are genuinely fighting this insecurity. Else, what they are doing is just cosmetics. So the federal government, first and foremost, should, even if you want to negotiate with them on what grounds, that they are stronger than you or what. I don't see it. I don't see that negotiation or going to the table as the solution. They do all that because of the part of the business and part of the politicization of the security. If they do what they are supposed to do, they will smoke out these bandits. Look at what is happening in other countries. The government, look at my friend that missed reference of America coming into Nigeria to rescue just one American citizen. Would that happen in Nigeria? How many students are held there? And the government said they won't pay ransom and they can't go in there to rescue these persons. So it obviously means that the government is not ready to fight this fight. The government of the day. So that's where we are. And going back to the topic, because they've been able to protect themselves, so to say, now the bandits have gone to the soft target, which are the students, the travelers on the Kaduna-Abuja road. One of the points to tell you what I'm saying is, during when Abuja airport was closed down, and all the politicians were made to go through that Abuja-Kaduna highway, did you hear of any kidnap? Was any of them attacked? They provided sufficient and enough security on that road because they were applying that road at that point. Immediately the airport opened, the kidnapping starts. So it is very obvious, and these are the pointers, that the federal government is not ready to fight this fight. The day the government becomes sincere to themselves that they want to fight this fight, it will end.
All right, Stanley Nsofor is a security expert who joins us from Port Harcourt, Rivers State. We want to thank you for your time and thought this morning, Stanley.
Thank you. Always my pleasure.
Thank you so much.